Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to see you here again. If you've been following the latest in Turkish entertainment news, then you probably already know what this video is going to be about. But if not, don't worry, because today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about topics recently. It's about the beloved actor Bareric Baktaş and the recent waves of rumors that have surrounded his relationship. Yes, that's right. The name on everyone's lips lately has been Bareric Baktaş, and alongside him, his wife, Gome Baktaş. Now, let's start from the beginning. Bareric Baktaş is not just another actor. He's someone who has managed to rise to prominence through a combination of talent, hard work, and that special charisma that only a few people truly have. His performance in the TV series Turkish captured hearts all across the country, and even beyond. The role he played wasn't easy, but he gave it so much depth and emotion that audiences were glued to their screens week after week. And naturally, with that kind of spotlight, the attention on his personal life grew as well. People became curious about who he was outside of the screen. Was he really like his character? What's he like as a husband? Is he romantic or more reserved? And of course, everyone started paying close attention to his relationship with Gome Baktaş, his wife, his partner, and someone who has been quietly supportive throughout his career. Gome herself is a well-known figure, respected not only for her own accomplishments but also for the poise with which she carries herself in public life. The couple, over time, has come to symbolize something that many fans admire: a strong, modern love story based on mutual support and respect. They've been seen together at red carpet events, in candid photos, in casual moments posted on social media, and they always appeared to be in sync with one another. They were never the couple that chased the spotlight, yet somehow the spotlight always found them. And then came the rumors. Almost out of nowhere, whispers began to circulate. Allegations started appearing on gossip pages and anonymous social media accounts. There were suggestions that there was trouble in paradise, that maybe, just maybe, one of them had been unfaithful. The headlines were crafted for maximum drama. Secret betrayal in the Baktaş marriage. Did Gome step out on Bareric? Sources say all is not well behind closed doors. It was the kind of story that spreads like wildfire, especially when it involves a beloved celebrity couple. But what's really going on? To answer that, we have to look at the facts, and not just the rumors. Because what's important here is to separate reality from speculation. First and foremost, let's be absolutely clear. There is no credible evidence that Gome Baktaş has been unfaithful to her husband. None. The stories that have been making the rounds are not based on verified information. They're based on anonymous tips, blurry photos, and so-called sources that refuse to go on the record. In fact, if you look closely, a lot of these rumors follow a familiar pattern. A few vague posts go up. Some fans overanalyze a picture or a facial expression, and suddenly a whole narrative is created out of thin air. Someone sees Bareric walking alone and says, "They must be fighting." Gome skips a public event and people say, "She didn't show up because of drama." But relationships, real relationships, are not always so simple. And just because something looks a certain way from the outside doesn't mean it's true. Let's not forget, this isn't the first time this kind of situation has happened. Celebrities, especially couples, are frequently targeted by gossip. There's a constant hunger for drama, for conflict, for scandal. Because, let's face it, scandal sells. It gets clicks. It gets views. It makes headlines. But the people at the center of those stories? They're real human beings. They have feelings. They have families, and these stories can be incredibly damaging, emotionally and professionally. So how have Bareric and Gome responded to all of this? In a word, gracefully. They haven't made angry public statements. They haven't gone on rants. They've simply continued living their lives together. And that, more than anything else, speaks volumes. Sometimes silence is not weakness. Sometimes it's a sign of maturity, of strength, of knowing who you are, and not needing to prove anything to anyone. Bareric continues to focus on his career. He's been spotted on set, working hard, preparing for new scenes. Gome, on the other hand, has remained active in her own pursuits, appearing at events, posting thoughtful updates online, and showing that she's as poised and composed as ever. They've been seen together recently, smiling, talking, sharing moments that show no signs of tension. And let's not forget the support they've received from fans. While there's always going to be gossip, there's also a huge base of people who believe in them, who admire their relationship, and who have voiced that support loudly. Social media is full of kind messages, fans sending love, and reminders that not everything you read online should be believed. But perhaps the most important takeaway from all of this is a broader one. A reminder that we need to be careful about the stories we spread. Rumors can seem harmless, even entertaining, but they can have real consequences, especially when they're about people who didn't ask to be part of a scandal in the first place. As for Bareric and Gome, they seem stronger than ever, and maybe that's the best answer to the rumors. Not words, but actions. Not public drama, but quiet unity. So, as we wrap up this video, I just want to say thank you for being here, for listening, and for thinking critically about what's really going on behind the headlines. There's always going to be gossip in the entertainment world. That's nothing new. But it's up to us, as viewers and fans, to be thoughtful about the way we engage with that gossip, to ask questions, to seek truth, and to remember that there's always more to the story than what meets the eye. If you liked this video and want to stay updated on more stories like this, the real stories behind the headlines, be sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment with your thoughts. I always love hearing what you think, and I'll be back very soon with another update. Until then, take care, stay kind, and don't believe everything you read online.